Velocity, money, peace, and blessings. Uh, so yeah, I was randomly thinking about some tinfoil hat shit today. I ain't even gonna lie. Like goddamn, like I know how the tinfoil hat niggas. I'm talking to y'all like motherfuckers is right here, physically present. Like like niggas gonna say, yeah, I know what you talking about, boss. Hell yeah, nah, let me chill out. All right, but yeah, I was thinking about some tinfoil hat shit today. About how the moon is said to be an incarnation trap, or the moon is said to be the base, the mechanism, or the entity that poses as one of the main grid points for the like lock grid mesh network, whatever the fuck people want to call it, that has our souls trapped within this matrix, and etc. Right? I'm not here to argue or postulate theories or findings or tell you what Noble Drew Ali did in the former lifetime when we was all Atlantean gods beating niggas ass behind the ice wall. I'm not finna get into you know what I'm saying, the conjectures based on all, that type of shit or whatever. I just merely found myself thinking about it randomly. And, from an astrological point of view, the moon can kind of be, the moon can be seen as one of the main anchor points that kind of bind people to the reality, you know. And let's get into it. So what does the moon represent? You know what I'm saying? What are the factors of the moon, right? The moon, it has a dependency factor about it. It has a childlike factor about it. It has the factor of wanting to be coddled, wanting to be satiated, wanting to be catered to, wanting to be secure, wanting to feel safe. It has a sensitive aspect about it. It has an aspect where it wants to taste. It wants to be comfortable in a reality. It wants to, you know what I'm saying, and enjoy the different beautiful facets. The house, which moon is the ruler of Cancer, which is the natural fourth house of the zodiac. The family, and it's exalted in Taurus. So, this can be, the money, the funds, the stockpile, the storehouse of riches, foods, sensual taste, sensuality, sexual engagement. You know what I'm saying? Even the moon from a Vedic astrological perspective, Soma. Soma was a juice, and Soma was the moon god, right? So the juice of Soma, I guess you can relate it to like a divine alcoholic beverage. Like it got the guys drunk, but it also empowered them or whatnot. You feel me? So it was a feel good, and it increased the strength of their senses and their spiritual abilities and perception and all the extra shit or whatever, right? So, and the moon god, was the god that pretty much represented the moon, right? So when it comes to the moon is not somebody that's seeking for that which lies beyond material existence. The moon is not seeking for spirituality. The moon is not trying to be a yogi, or he's not really trying to, you know what I'm saying, break the cycle of birth and death and rebirth. He's not trying to, you know what I'm saying, connect to the, and that's crazy. I was just about to say he's not trying to connect to Lord Shiva, but that's actually something, and it's 11:33 me saying this. Sound like a tinfoil hat side note, day by day, when I keep quoting these fucking numbers. I never used to do that shit. I never used to give a fuck about a motherfucking 1111 or a 222 or a fucking. I never used to give a fuck about that shit, man. But whatever, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I need to go ahead and cop the 10 for it, right? But getting back to my original line of thought. So, or getting back to my tangent, spilling off my original line of thought. The moon does have a connection to Shiva. Shiva is the most spiritual, but for some reason, Shiva used the moon, the comfort of the moon, in order to calm down the reaction from the immense level of darkness and poison that he took into his throat during the churning of the Samudra Mantha. That's something to ponder on, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to do a later video on that. I just now realized that. But getting back to the original line of thought. So, Moon, he's not a spiritual guy. He's not a guy that's really trying to be the top level yogi or wisdom, motherfucking wisdom. How much do you know, you bitch ass nigger? You don't know more than me. Like, that's not the moon. The moon doesn't care about that. The moon cares about food, houses, coochies, bread, movies. Moon cares about things that are stimulating and enlivening, right? And you know, when it comes to this 3D material reality, it can be said that one of the benefits of this 3D material reality is that we get to experience each other physically. We get to, you know what I'm saying, experience the duality. We get to feel, you know what I'm saying, you get to feel the effect of inserting your lower member to create backshot integration or backshot activity, you know, in the opposite sex. You get to experience that. You know what I'm saying? Diddy got to experience a lot of things that might have been against religion, that might have been against, you feel me? Definitely was against religion and sensible human actions, right? But we're not going to talk about that. But all in all, this physical material reality allows us to experience the sensual engagement and have the comfort, enlivening, fun, passionate engagements, stimulations. All of these things represent the moon. The moon can be said to be a factor of romance too, as well. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to the incarnation trap, the passions are often the bait. The fact of the moon, the having a material thing or something outside of yourself that you feel like you're dependent upon, or you know what I'm saying, you want to integrate into, or something that you want to be able to rest in, or something that you want to be able to you know what I'm saying, just feel and have satiate your mind and your senses or whatever, right? That's definitely an automatic anchor to reality, good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Whatever label that you want to put towards it. And I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm not gonna go out on a limb. That's crazy. I don't know who the fuck made that expression up, but I'm gonna be one to say maybe it's not so bad to incarnate, and it's not bad to have the wine. It's not bad to eat your lady ass, right? It's not bad to enjoy the pleasurable things and experiences of life. What becomes bad and what becomes contrary to the truth is when the soul, the jiva, the living entity becomes dependent upon these things to experience his own internal state of immortal peace. Or I said it all wrong. The soul, the individual entity, he becomes so dependent on the material things or the structures of reality outside of himself. You feel me? He has no internal sovereignty, and he's unable to experience the self-realized immortal peace. You know, the oneness with God or whatever, because I need this. You need milk. You need a titty. You need some new Jordans or whatever. You feel me? And I feel like this is one of the reasons that moon is such a problematic thing in the birth chart, period, at least when it comes to those who are seeking, I would say, the high spiritual attainments, or the yogic types of attainments and whatever, right? Seriously, yogic attainments. And when you think about it, the story of Rahu Ketu being snitched on by sun and moon, right? The story of the gods and the demons getting together to drink the divine nectar, right? The sun and the moon ratted out Rahu and Ketu. Rahu and Ketu was going for immortality. They was going for, you know what I'm saying, spiritual perfection, or whatever you want to call it. And the sun and moon ratted them out. You know what I'm saying? Rahu and Ketu got immortal, but Rahu and Ketu were given the job to break entities away from the cycle of birth and death. I think I gotta go back and check that out. It might be something that's close to that. You know, y'all can correct me in the comments if y'all can, but I believe Rahu and Ketu was given the job by Lord Vishnu to break people out of this cycle of reincarnation, right? So that's Rahu and Ketu's job. But the thing about sun and moon, sun and moon are pretty much ones who govern incarnations. You know what I'm saying? This is why they are enemies to Rahu and Ketu. They directly oppose each other in relation to their given functions. The sun is here to pretty much be a father for the incarnations, to show the incarnation or the incarnate souls under it how to grow properly, how to thrive properly, how to what's the laws, rules, and constituents of reality. You know what I'm saying? How to reinforce your identity, how to make yourself more sovereign and more singular, more individual, you know what I'm saying, in order to become a father into yourself and lead others and keep passing the torch on, you know what I'm saying, to make a perfect code within this creation. If that thing is a possible thing to do or whatever, right? But the sun is about this incarnation. It's about the world. It's about taking care of the world, making sure the world is maintained, right? Making sure the world has heat, making sure the crops grow. It's about incarnation. It's not about leaving everything or killing everything and, you know what I'm saying, doing the most spiritual attainments and letting go of your individuality and not caring about your body. That's not the sun at all. You know what I'm saying? In the moon, you know, it's about the emotional processes, and it's about the growth. It's about the vegetation as well. You know what I'm saying? It's about abundance as well. You know, when the moon is beneficial, it's about the sensitive enjoyments, the sensitive realms, the intuitive ability. You know what I'm saying? And the absorption properties as well, right? But either way, sun and moon are incarnation entities. Rahu and Ketu are trying to break away from that process. This is why Ketu conjunction or Rahu conjunction with the moon is so troubling, or it can cause, you know what I'm saying, so many different psychological complexes or issues when it comes with the moon, you know what I'm saying, and when it comes with the sun too. But what was I originally talking about? I know I'm kind of rambling right now. Yeah, moon. Yeah, moon being like an incarnation trap, right? You gotta think about it. you got to think about it. How does one stop the process of birth and death? Do you just quit the desires? For sure, you have to break the mind down to a level where there is no concept of I am dependent, or this is better than me, or this is strong, or that is more mature, or I'm sensitive, I can be threatened. You know what I'm saying? This is outside of me. I like this. I dislike this. Different ghosts and phantoms, and the childlike natures and the fluctuations, the aberrations of the mind, the lack of discipline of the mind. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes to Yoga Sutra, the first sutra, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha, right? The first sutra is telling you yoga is the cessation pretty much of mind, chitti, consciousness fluctuations, whatever people want to call the word chitti or whatever the fuck, right? But it's pretty much telling you the stopping of the mind is yoga. When you're able to stop or cease the mind, that's yoga. That's breaking the